Welcome back. So, next thing is, Reboot is not recommended for everyone, okay? We've got a list of people here. Pregnant or breastfeeding people shouldn't go on a Reboot, okay? It's too drastic. Anyone undergoing dialysis, chemotherapy or radiation, all right? Another group are underweight people. If you've got uncontrolled diabetes, and if you even have controlled diabetes, then still I would ask, in fact for most of these things, I would ask doctor's permission and to get a health check first before you start going on anything such as drastic as this. If you want to go on a 3-day, 5-day, 7-day Reboot, that should be okay. But anything longer than that, remember I'm going on 28 days, okay, of Reboot. Really, if you've got anything drastically wrong with you, you should really get doctor's permission. Other things, if you've got epilepsy, you shouldn't even think about this. Liver disease, anemia, impaired immune functions, ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease. Any one of those, you shouldn't even really think about this unless you seriously get doctor's permission to do so. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a pre-Reboot week. Okay, now I've already started that because I've been slowly reducing things like caffeine and various things from my diet, and we've been taking the odd juice already as we've been trying the juicer out. But the whole point of the pre-Reboot week is to minimize the side effects. Now, there are side effects, and the side effects are basically the way that your body has learned to cope with all these things, with the caffeine, the sugar, and all the various other things, okay? So things, for instance, like fatigue, okay? Once you start ridding your body of all the sugars, or the artificial sugars that you take, once you start ridding it of the caffeine, you're going to start to feel tired. You're going to feel actually ill, almost. You're going to have headaches, you're going to have dizziness, constipation or diarrhea, increased body odour and or bad breath. All these things are side effects. Now what happens with a lot of people is they go straight from a diet, a normal diet that they've been doing, eating pies, eating fast foods, going to McDonald's, etc., and then decide, right, I'm going to go on a juice Reboot, okay, and then they start the juicing diet, and after the second day they start to feel miserable and they start to feel loss of energy and tired and dizzy every now and then. They also start to feel very ill as it gets to day 3 and 4. They're actually just wanting to stay in bed. So the whole idea of the pre-Reboot is a mixture of the two diets, okay? Is to start weaning yourself onto the juices, start putting micronutrients in, and so that the side effects of going off normal food and onto pure food is going to be minimized. Now, another extreme warning, okay? If while you're doing this Reboot, you have any one of these, fainting, extreme dizziness, okay, low blood pressure, vomiting or severe diarrhea, you should stop the Reboot immediately if you're going to do this. So any one of those, and just stop immediately and get medical help, because there's something else not right with your body that the Reboot has set off. So any one of those, just stop immediately. Okay, so let's talk about the Reboot Diary. I'm going to start on the 27th of February, and that's going to be the pre-Reboot week. By the end of the Reboot week, I will have eliminated all processed foods like white flour, sugar, desserts, fried foods. Okay, no more of those. Eliminate fast foods, burgers, all that kind of thing, and processed meats such as bacon, ham, salami. All that's going to go. Eliminate all meat and dairy by the end of the week, and replace those with salads, soups, smoothies, and whole grains. Because whole grains and various things like this is where we're going to be getting a lot of our protein from, okay? Eliminate caffeine, okay? I've more or less done that now, but by the end of the first week, that's it. No more caffeine in any way, shape or form. And we're going to replace that with green or herbal tea. Me personally, I'm not a herbal tea fan. I tried the green teas, that's okay now and again. But actually what I've found I quite like, and it takes a bit of experimenting, is Japanese sencha decaffeinated tea. Okay, because normal sencha tea, Japanese tea, is actually caffeinated. So we've managed to source some decaffeinated through Amazon, which is very, very good. And so now I'm starting to drink that more and more at work. In fact, I think today I've had 2 cups of tea, normal Earl Grey tea, which has got a little bit of caffeine in, but it still has caffeine. But apart from that, as a whole, I've knocked 95% of the caffeine out of my system already. We're also, by the end of the first reboot week, we're going to be drinking 2 to 2.5 litres of water a day. And that's a lot of water. I tell you, I get through this, I feel like I'm drowning. I've tried a few times, and I'm slowly increasing the amount of water that I take, but still I've got a fair bit to go. Okay, the other thing is get extra sleep. Okay, that's a big thing, because a lot of these side effects and various other things of your body re-kicking itself back into the way nature intended, you're going to need a lot of rest. Okay, so get extra sleep, and of course during the reboot week we will actually be having 1 juice a day. So one of these micronutrient juices we'll be having a day, working up to the fact that as of a particular day it will be going totally liquid. So reboot day 1 to 7. Okay, this is where we actually have the reboot. Okay, now this week, this particular week is juicing and eating, so we're still not totally going off the food. Okay, we're taking a minimum of 2 500 milliliter juices per day. Okay, so that's getting more of the juice. We're going to take 1.5 litres of additional fluid and only salad type foods. Okay, so that's the first week of the really juiced diet. Okay, from then, day 8 to 28, we're going to have a minimum amount of juice and fluids, which is 4 to 6 600 milliliter glasses of juice per day. Okay, we're additional to that, we're going to have 2 litres of liquid. Now that can be made up of tea and various other things. One of the things that's recommended is coconut water. Okay, now there's a lot of coconut water about, and we've gone to various supermarkets because they all do slightly different ranges, and we've had a whole vast of them. My wife back in India drinks a great deal of coconut water and loves it. I somehow still can't quite get used to it, but the thing about coconut water is, not coconut milk, but coconut water, is the coconut water does have a lot of minerals in it as well, which your body needs. If you just drink only water, you're just going to basically drown yourself, okay? So you need the minerals as well. So even though you're going to have these juices, if you're going to need extra liquid, you're going to need coconut water. On top of that, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil or coconut oil to the dinner juice. And if you're going to use coconut oil, you've got to ensure that the coconut oil is warmed up. Okay, so it's liquid, because in a normal room temperature, coconut oil is actually quite solid. Okay, so if you just have that, that's no good at all. You've got to heat it up just a little bit to get it liquid, and in fact, even if you just have it in the palm of your hands, then that is just warm enough to actually make it liquid. Add that to your dinner juice and have that. Okay, that's important. And the amount of fluid each person needs on a reboot varies. So remember, if you're getting headaches and that kind of thing, you're going to need more coconut water. Okay, like I say, I'm going to have to get used to this coconut water. Okay, so by the time we get to the end of the reboot at day 28, okay, we'll have had 28 of eating very little, practically no solid foods, especially for the last 3 weeks. Now, I've got no idea how I'm going to cope with that, and that's part of this video log is going to be telling you, just how I am coping. I can't imagine having all that liquid sloshing around in my stomach. It's going to make me feel full, but apparently people do say, and I've read a lot of articles about this and watched a couple of films, etc., and documentaries, and people do say you get used to it pretty quickly and you don't feel hungry at all. We'll see. Okay, but day 29 to 56, which is the second half, or the third, if you will, of this reboot as such, is going to be all about controlling the sugars. For the third part of the reboot, we're going to be bringing solid foods back. Okay, so this is not a carrying on of the juice diet. This is by no means going to have just juice, But what we are going to do is we're going to look at the liquidizer, and we've bought a very expensive liquidizer, which you've maybe seen in the introduction video. And we're going to unbox that, we're going to look at that. In one or two of the other videos, we're also going to be doing videos on the juicers and the juicer and the liquidizer that we've chosen, and why we've chosen those particular ones as to others. Okay, but the idea will be that by using the liquidizer, we're going to introduce the fibre back into our system. Okay, so that the sugar from the fruits that we're going to have, we're going to bring it back down to a slow burn. Okay, and that's as well as starting to include healthy foods and that kind of thing, and salads. So there we have it. That's the reboot in one way, shape or form. Like I say, we're going to do more videos on this, and we're going to do a countdown about the pre-reboot and what we're going to have, what the diet I'm going to be eating, what I'm not going to be eating, how I'm feeling and that kind of thing. At the moment I'm eating healthier, so I'm starting to take out all the various sugars and caffeines that I can, but I'm still eating normal food, still eating potatoes and meat and all the other kind of things, but reducing them greatly. So we'll see how that gets on. Remember, thanks for watching, and if you like or you don't like, please press the button down below. Remember, please subscribe, it doesn't cost you anything. Anyway, see you next time.